मेरा नाम देखो
एसी ऑन कर दे बढ़िया। ओ ऑन
तो बार-बार बंद करते हो चालू करते हो।
वो क्या
वो अंश की प्रॉब्लम है सिर्फ अंश
24 पे रहता
हाँ 24 पे रखा है
है। हो जाएगा ना रिपोर्ट बाद में दूंगा नहीं।
25 पे रहता है 25
वो अंश है ना बार-बार
वो चिक चिक करता रहता है।
बेटा ठीक है तो भी अच्छा जाके जाइए
क्योंकि मैं तो सो जाऊंगी यार अगर मैं पीछे जाऊंगी तो।
नहीं हम नहीं रहने से मैं भी किसी को बोल नहीं सकते
कोई
तो बेटा समझ
इधर ही बैठा है वो सब।
हेलो जी तो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि इंसान ने मुंह से कैसे बनाया पर एविडेंस दे इस चीज की मैं पेन से ना बना पाऊँ अपने हाथों से कैसे बनाया है और ये लाइंस भी इतने मर्ज कैसे किया होगा
वो अलग है।
किसी ने अपने पैर से इतनी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पेंटिंग्स बनाई है पता है क्या करने का ऐसे करने का अब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व
मतलब ब्लॉकिंग इसके अंदर है कि वो ब्लॉकिंग और कैसे कर सकता है मेरा फोन खुद से। नहीं ब्लॉकिंग इज टेम्परेरी ऑफ जब जो सिस्टम मैंने ब्लॉक किया तो ब्लॉकिंग भी नहीं मैंने लिख के ही मम्मी को ब्लॉक किया वेट
एक बात करें तुम बायोलॉजी की टाइम पास कर लेक्चर जल्दी छोड़ने को क्या लैब्स वाला काम करता है नाइन्थ में कितनी का बच्चे बच्चे के अभी सारे कुछ एकदम चिल हो गए
ऐसा है क्या प्ले गेम आता है
हाँ
मैं
हाँ
बहुत बुरी हूँ उसमें तो थोड़ा
वो तो मैं भी उसमें क्या है
पेन में तुम मेरे पास तो बहुत
लैप ब्लू रहेगा तो फिर मेरे को नीचे 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 नीचे
तेरे ठीक लग रहा है
हाँ बस बस बस
पैर इससे क्यों आएगा
पता मेरा मन क्यों नहीं लगा कहीं बाहर निकलने इतना गर्मी है ना ट्रैवलिंग को सोच सोच के मेरा मन पूरा निकल गया है
First, second.
And go so by.
क्यों ये लोग मेरे को मार
मैं लास्ट टाइम नहीं आया, मैं लास्ट टाइम आया। लास्ट वाला है।
जो भी लास्ट है उसकी
चल के आ रहा था मैं। तो हम क्या करे? तुम्हें चल के आ रहा था हम क्या करे? रेस भी नहीं लगाया
फर्स्ट में पूरा स्लिपरी था
हाँ
ये तो भाग भी गया
अच्छा लग रहा है
सेम धोनी क्या है
ऐसे तो कौन नहीं लग रहा है
पर मैं वाला
हाथ धो क्या भाई क्या धो के ही आया है अरे बाहर जा हाथ धो क्या हाथ धो के ही आया है
अबे कब धोआ भाई
आते आएगा
आते आते धो भाई चले बस आज को
स्पाइस बॉर्डर वाला नहीं दूसरा नहीं बोलता है सिर्फ आईपीएल हम हो गया सिर्फ आईपीएल में और वाला की राइट किया था
क्या
सेलिब्रेशन
यू महंगा पे ले बाइक करना
उसको सब हैंड वॉश
भाई सब लिखा
तो सब बोला
लिखा तो बस ब्रांड
नहीं बोल रहा है
वो ऐसे रेस्पेक्ट वो रफली और कुछ को
नहीं कोई बात
कुछ आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर
कोई बात नहीं
बट कुछ होता है
खराब क्या भाई
तूने देखा है कभी क्रिकेट में ऐसे रगड़ते हैं
खराब क्या
रगड़ते इधर रगड़ते मालूम है
हाँ तो फिर स्वेट में अच्छा लग रहा था तो
अरे मेरा 20 मिनट
क्या हुआ?
ओके क्या
नकली भाग के गिरानी है
सभी नहीं गिरा
मैं
क्या बात कर रहा है मेरे स्कूल में ये हुआ था
वाला
बहुत सारे लोग साथ आते हैं ठीक है मैं लास्ट आया मेरे को 3 मिनट से गिरे सकते हैं जो साथ में तो भाई मैं कितना गिरा तो उसमें भाई सर पागल हो गए थे लोग हटाने पड़े आयरन तो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट क्या रहता है 2000 के अंदर लावा का क्या टेंपरेचर रहता है लावा पे डिपेंड करता है ना कौन सी 1000 डिग्री सेल्सियस
1 लाख डिग्री सेल्सियस
कितना सीन रहे हैं अरे सैंडबॉक्स पेपर यूज कर रहे
पेपर को मेल्टिंग पॉइंट कर देता है
पेपर का
मेल्टिंग पॉइंट कर देता
पेपर मेल्ट होते हैं
काला
काला होता है
काला होता है अभी जल जाता है
बट ये मेल्टिंग भी होता है दो प्रॉपर्टीज होती है एक होती है मेल्टिंग और एक होता है बर्निंग बर्निंग की बात करता हूं मेल्टिंग होता है बनाते कैसे फिर उसे
मैं बताता
वो
हूं
बॉक्स को
लावा रोज को बढ़ा दो मेल्ट होगा
अबे पता है अगर हम गैस जलाए उसके ऊपर एक बर्तन रखे और उसमें पानी डाल के पेपर डाले
क्या क्या क्या
अगर हम गैस जलाए
कौन सा
गैस
गैस
तू मतलब गैस में
कैसे
ओवन की बात
घर में तो गैस है
ये क्या
उसके ऊपर एक उसके ऊपर एक
टोपिया
नहीं भांड
क्या क्या
क्या बोलते हैं हम जिसमें खाना बनाते हैं
टोपिया
कुकर कुक तो हम करेंगे
पतीला
हाँ,
टोपिया
पतीला
कुक तो हम ट्राई करेंगे करने का
पतीला रखे और उसमें पानी डाल के पेपर डाले तो और 4 घंटे इसको
पेपर गीला हो जाएगा बट पानी निकल जाएगा एंड पेपर रह जाएगा
और फिर मेल्ट हो जाएगा और पूरा 10 साल पूरे 10 साल चलाए तो पर मेल्ट नहीं होगा फिर मेल्ट कब होगा
पेपर बनाने समय होता है उसको
पेपर बनाने के बाद
पेपर बनाते समय मेल्ट नहीं करते हाँ तो वो बोर्ड का शेडिंग लेते हैं देन उसको ब्लेंड वगैरह
क्लास खत्म हो गया
मेल्ट का
चालू हो गए 15 मिनट
पूछ रहा
निकालते ना उसका जैसे आप कटिंग कर रहे हैं
अबे
हाँ बट उसमें मेल्ट क्यों
खाना मेल्ट
हाँ अच्छा हाँ स्टेप ओके
पेपर मेल्ट हो सकता है
नहीं हो
पूछ रहे हैं उसने भी देखा है
इधर देखा
पोदारा में पोदारा पेपर मेल्ट होते हुए दिखता है पोदारा अभी प्राइस
अबे इनके स्कूल में पेपर मेल्ट करते हैं
अबे
अभी बहुत लेट
तुम्हें केमिस्ट्री लैब में लेके गए थे मेरी टीचर ने एक भी बार नहीं लेके गई
हाँ हमारी भी टीचर एक घुमाने लगी
मंजू मैम
अरे वो हर क्लास में सोने को बोलते हैं।
हाँ सोने, अबे अलाउ भी नहीं है मैं सोने।
अलाउड है तुम लोग सोने?
हाँ एक टीचर अलाउ करते हैं मुझे।
कौन सी?
क्यों? अबे की तो थी लास्ट ईयर एक बार प्रिपेयर में।
नहीं, हम लोग
ऐसे कर दी वो अलाउ।
केमिस्ट्री
सेकंड लास्ट डे पे बहुत सारे बच्चे आए थे, कुछ 34 बच्चे आए थे, 11 बच्चे एब्सेंट थे। मैंने बोले सो जाओ, क्या करोगे एक ही पीरियड था।
हाँ समझ में
हाँ,
आ
जुआ में different है।
हमें भी लगता है
एकदम
इसको भी पता चला
मैं उसको भेजा, मैंने उसको ही भेजा।
यही होता
तेरा स्नैप मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये क्लास प्रॉक्सी होता है। तो मैं ड्यूटी को जाके थैंक
ये
यू।
स्कूल एक है
मैं बोला था।
नहीं
मैं पूरी क्लास अगेंस्ट हो जाएगी तो तू सीधा बन जाएगा, सबसे पहला आंसर होगा कैसे। मैं उल्टा दूंगा।
नहीं मैं भी टेस्ट दूंगा
तो एक टू आ गया।
मैं भी
कौन बनेगा?
हाँ?
नहीं
ना ना ना
वो डिपेंड करेगा
मान देंगे हमें।
मैं
करेगा वो डिपेंड
मैं नहीं बनूंगा।
और रोमेंस कौन बनेगा?
ब्रो सीजर कौन है? अभी मैं क्या हूँ? तो मैंने तेरे को मारा इसलिए कि वो बेटरमेंट चाहिए क्लास में।
फिर बोनस कौन बनेगा?
और ये सारे तेरे वोट आर्यन तेरे वोट नहीं एंटनी बच्चन चल
बच्चा तो क्लास में चाहिए ना।
अरे यार तू किसको क्लास चाहिए?
मुझे नहीं चाहिए
वो है ना जो वो डॉक्टर कर रहा है।
आदित्य
आदित्य
नहीं आदित्य है।
वाह,
ए तुम लोग
ऐसे
तुम लोग किसी को क्लास चाहिए?
कि प्रॉक्सी चाहिए लेक्चर
ए हमारी मर्जी का नहीं है, ऐसी
बायो में क्लास चाहिए? आए ना।
कि प्रॉक्सी चाहिए
नहीं चाहिए।
ना एंटनी को पूछो दीदी को पूछो
दीदी
दीदी
भाई ये तो और की है। मैं हिस्ट्री में आया था, वो जो एक लड़की बैठी थी वो भैया थी भाई।
वो आदित्य भैया
भाई अच्छा इसकी नहीं मैं बोल रहा था
तुम लोग आदमी बनेंगे एंटनी।
क्या बोल रहे थे?
गुड आफ्टरनून।
आफ्टरनून।
गुड क्या बोलना है वो भी भूल गए। चलो now turn to the questions. Let us finish with all the questions there. Turn to the MCQ. Did we do this earlier?
Yeah, we did.
Did all? Check your book.
And we have done all MCQs and
Check all of you check your text.
फैन भी चला देते हैं।
Check. तुम लोग में एक अपॉइंट ही कर लो जिसको फैन और एसी का ही।
आर्यन भाई
आर्यन।
आजकल रोज उधर बैठे।
एग्जैक्टली रोज जेनी हाँ मैच में
Concentrate. चलो MCQ all done. Check. Did we do this? I don't think so. We did not do this, right?
we have done backside questions.
We haven't done. No? MCQ did we do? No. Chalo, we'll go ahead, complete with all the questions there. Number A, MCQ start. The first one, all of you look into that part of the chapter. Turn to which page? 54. Turn to 54. The first one, the hydrostatic pressure of the cell sap on the cell wall is called. Keep answering. All of you do your work. Take out your textbooks. Do your work. Number 2. When a cell in solution shrinks and loses its shape, the solution is hypertonic. I'll take one by one. Otherwise, all of you are in a chorus. Only 2 of them are answering. Start from that side. Start. Number 3. The process for which energy is required, active transport. Number 4.
pure water
Next.
the highest water potential is that of pure water
The highest water potential is that of pure water. Next. Last line. When the cell of a plant are fully distended,
shrinkage plasmolysis
fully distended,
D plus volysis.
The condition is
D plus.
D plus volysis. Underline the word distended, meaning fully filled. Yes, tight filled. Tight filled. Which of the following creates suction force? Number 6. Which of the following creates suction force? I have explained you all these terms. Transpiration. Number 7.
The phenomenon by which
Yes.
living slash dead non-cells absorb water by surface interaction is called imbibition.
Number 8.
Imbibition.
Number 8.
Which of the following is a living semi-permeable membrane? Cell membrane.
9.
Addition of salt to pickles is the method of killing the bacteria by plasmolysis.
Number 10.
Root pressure can be measured by using manometer.
Manometer.
Manometer. Manometer.
मैंने बीच में बोलना जरूरी है.
Okay. 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 Number B. Name the following. Let us start now. The condition of a cell placed in a hypotonic solution. Start from you. Condition of a cell. Condition of a, not a state. Condition of a cell placed in a hypotonic solution.
Now we are not doing MCQs.
MCQs
Okay.
done.
11.
11.
अच्छा 11 भी है मेरे बुक में 10 तक है 11 what is 11 what is 11 okay number 11 two plant cells are placed in two different liquids observed after 4 to 6 hours okay number P water and swollen Q sugar solution shrunken okay identify the current pair of the process happening in plants P and Q what is happening in Q
D.
Acha, tell me first what is happening in
P
P.
is endo-osmosis and Q is exo-osmosis.
Option D is correct, right? Option D is correct. Check. Okay, ये assertion questions how many are there? 12, 13, 14, 15. 4 questions are there. I'll give you 5 minutes. Go through all the statements properly. Check. Go through all the 4 questions properly. After that, I will ask you individually.
Now in our books we don't have old books.
That's the old book, no?
Yours is the old one.
Yours also
Same book.
same book. Hai. New book. He has the new book.
Yes,
New book. Hai. Can you come and sit here? Share the book. Come and sit here. Give him place. Go that side.
All osmosis is diffusion, but not
Take 2-3 minutes. Go through all the statements. Try solving. Then we discuss.
But reason is not. इसका एक कर दे.
Yes.
Sorry.
मजाक करने के लिए मैंने बुलाया.
कर रहे थे.
हाँ, so no, otherwise absolutely. Go through the statements. देखो समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? Is there any confusion? Confusion है? Clarify करो.
It does not. Reason is
Done now. Let us check. Did you solve?
C, D, C.
Number 12. Number 12. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. That is true. Soil is the storehouse of all the essential minerals for photosynthesis.
True.
That are absorbed by the plant through the roots of the plant by the process of diffusion. Soil is the storehouse of all the essential minerals. That is also true. Assertion and reason both are true. Assertion and reason both are true statements. So for your 10th standard, for 10th standard, you will only get this 4 types of option. A and B true, A and B false, A true, B false. Reasoning you will not get at all. Thank God क्या? जितना बोर्ड इजी कर रहे तुम लोग उतना ही रिलैक्स होते जा रहे हैं. मेरा क्वेश्चन है तो और काम बना दीजिए. Now next is number 13. Look into number 10. Confusion है?
No, I thought that they were saying that the
Next, soil they are saying. No. Soil is the storehouse of all the minerals for photosynthesis, which will be absorbed by the root. That is absolutely true. Okay. Number 13. Diffusion is the process of movement of liquid molecules only.
False.
That is false. Gas or solid also. Main condition which regulates process of diffusion is the concentration gradient. It always occurs from higher to lower. That is true. Number 13. A is false. R is true.
B.
Option is
B.
A is
B2.
A is false. B. No. 13 is B, correct?
B2.
B2, correct. Okay. Number 14. Translocation of prepared food material is in plants occurs through the phloem tissue in upward direction. Occurs through phloem, वो correct है. Upward, that is wrong. So assertion हो गया false. Phloem is a kind of complex permanent tissue surrounded by xylem. That is
False.
false. Phloem is not surrounded by xylem. Is phloem surrounded by xylem?
It is written which surrounds the xylem.
Which surrounds the
Which surrounds
It's true.
which surrounds the xylem present all throughout the plant root stem. Okay. Which surrounds the xylem, that is true. And A is false, R is true. A is false, R is true. Option B is correct. Number 15.
C.
Active transport does not occur through a non-living semi-permeable membrane. Active transport does not occur through a non-living semi-permeable membrane. Is that true?
Both are true.
True.
Active transport does not occur through a non-living semi-permeable membrane.
Both are true.
Can you give me an example of a non-living semi-permeable membrane?
cellophane paper twisting down.
Cellophane paper.
Will active transport happen through cellophane?
No. Because there is no energy.
It is against the
So
concentration.
this statement is
False. No, true.
true. It is.
True.
Active transport does not occur. Does not occur. It will not occur.
C.
And active transport is a direction opposite to that of diffusion from a region of low to high. That is true. Okay. So A is false. R is
C.
C.
no. That's not wrong. A is true. R is C. And
Three.
both are correct. So option is C.
Placidity.
Huh?
Placidity, the first one.
Which one is it?
B1A.
Number. Name the following. Now come to name the following. Start. All of you look in. Assertion में confusion है किसी को?
नहीं मैं expectation of the style of end of diffusion.
बाकी लोगों को सोचने दो. हाँ, exactly. आगे का नाम आएगा बायोलॉजी में.
Now what do you do?
Now what do you do? बाकी question कौन करेगा?
Condition.
Acidity condition. क्या which question वो बंद क्यों किया?
देखना तो मेरे अपना आंसर लिखे।
अच्छा चलो name the following fast. अच्छा स्कूल में हो गया। देखो ऐसे honest बच्चा आजकल मिलेगा। चलो name the following the condition of a cell placed in a hypotonic solution. Hypotonic turgidity condition है turgidity. All of you will write, all of you pencil से लिखो answers, all of you will write the answers in your book. Now the condition of a cell placed in a hypotonic है turgidity, not turgid. Process by which go ahead decide Ria. Process by which intact plants lose water. Acha. This we did not discuss. Guttation. What is the concept of guttation? We were talking about root pressure.
Process by which intact plants lose water in the form of droplets from each one.
So I can sometimes take a
Very short answer first.
Guttation, what was the concept of? अभी देखो यहाँ पे listen. There are last two more words that you'll have to remember. If I have to summarize, wind up with this chapter, so two words to understand: bleeding and guttation. What is the difference? Bleeding and guttation. What is the difference? Bleeding for a plant. I'm talking about bleeding for a plant. क्या है?
Bleeding is the process in which the plant loses a water due to a cut or
Loses a water.
due to a cut.
Loses water
From cell sap.
Loses water from cell sap.
From the stem, right? Xylem is open.
Loses water from cell sap.
Water from cells.
From cell sap.
This is a plant. इसका stem. You are breaking the stem. Will you see some transparent liquid oozing out?
Yes.
That is cell sap. So what are you doing? You are injuring the plant part. Any type of a plant on the way back home, you take one small part of the stem, you break it, you will get to see some transparent, or at times if it is whitish, that is not the sap, that is the latex mixed with the sap. That is different. But gummy substance are the plant tissues produce. So now if I talk about that any part of a plant, the fleshy leaf might tear off, the stem might tear off, some transparent liquid oozing out, that is the sap oozing out. This process where sap is oozing out because of the injury to the plant parts, that is bleeding. Not water from the sap, it is just the sap oozing out. Then what is guttation? If I talk about plants, certain plants, again, which type of plants am I talking about? The type of plants that I'm talking about again has to be shrubs, herbs. I cannot think of the mango trees and I cannot think of the big tall trees to talk about guttation. I have to always think of some weak plants, small plants, where there is a chance of accumulation of the water. Now, if I talk about accumulation of the water, I may understand a condition something like this. Now, this type of a condition quite often you must have seen in many different plants. Those of you have got even the money plants at home, there also you can see this. So, this droplet that you get to see, loss of water in the form of water droplets. So this loss of water in the form of water droplets, this is a particular leaf which has got the veins, and at the ends of the vein there are some small pores. What are those pores called? Hydrothores. Okay. So this small pores will be releasing water in the form of a droplet, not in the form of vapor. That is different. Vapor. We are going to talk later. So if this is the loss of water in the form of droplets, in the form of droplets, in the form of droplets, and the droplets will be always at the end of the vein, where the vein opens up at the margin of the leaf in the form of a small pore. Because when there is excess amount of water in the plant, The rate of transpiration is low. Nay, low. Rate of transpiration is low, and that's the reason this is happening majorly in the evening, at night, early morning, when the rate of transpiration is lesser.
Dew is this rotation only. I said dew is this rotation.
Yes, for the grasses, for the small shrubs, but this will not happen where in the tall big trees, no, because the length of the xylem tube and the amount of the water in the xylem tube is always lesser.
This is just dew only.
This is the dew drops that we talk about. Dew drops. Process is guttation.
Ma'am, does this water taste different?
Huh?
Does this water taste different?
No, it is just plain water. It is just plain water filled with minerals. This is the natural mineral water. This is the natural
So
mineral.
we can sell it
Basement, sir.
basically, huh?
Basement.
Good business.
Fill up the water in bottles.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is naturally
Or
natural.
we can do it with a manometer. Because, sorry, analysis.
और एक दिन
Mercury का जाएगा भाई.
ऐसे business का ideas मत रखना, बिल्कुल भी आपसे आगे. So now, when we are talking about this, in the next chapter we are going to learn differences. I will tell you later to write, not now. So this is gradation. Now let us solve those questions there. Intact plants lose water in the form of droplets from leaf margins. Answer is gradation. Write down. Process by which water enters root hairs.
Osmosis.
Osmosis.
Diffusion is also right.
No, osmosis. Water. Root
We have
hairs.
to be specific.
Water root hairs. So osmosis. Go to the next.
Endoosmosis. That will be bad.
Upward conduction. Tissue. You have to write. Tissue. Look into the highlighted words. Tissue concerned with upward conduction.
Xylem.
Endoosmosis. उसके बाद वाला.
Okay, the term for inward movement of solvent molecules through the plasma membrane. Inward movement of solvent and osmosis.
Endosmosis.
Yes. Next क्या होगा? The process by which molecules distribute themselves. Diffusion.
Root pressure.
Movement of water molecules across the cortical, yes, root pressure. Pressure which is responsible for movement of water molecules across cortical cells.
Pressure. Next.
Name the following और है.
Second वाला. Next question.
Complete the following है.
Give the equivalent terms for the following.
Give the equivalent terms for the following.
Pressure exerted by the cell contents on the cell wall.
Turbo pressure.
Correct. Go to the next.
Plasmolysis.
Condition in which cell contents are
Placidity.
condition.
Placidity.
Condition. Placidity.
Double C.
Ma'am, the next one I think is the bleeding.
Loss of water through a constant bleeding.
Bleeding.
Injured parts of the plant bleed. Complete the following karo.
Lower energy and
Less energy turnover.
Cells are coming out.
Lower
when you are
energy
injuring
turnover.
any plant part. एक plant को काटा. You are cutting the
Lower-
stem. You are cutting the branch. But shrub होना चाहिए. Small plant होनी चाहिए. Then you get to see the sap oozing out. That is bleeding. ये naturally हो रहा है. This is not we are injuring any plant part. This is naturally happening. This is guttation. Plant में से water कभी नहीं आएगा. Water and minerals will never come out separate. It is only the water with the dissolved minerals. We can never think of water only coming out from a plant part. Chalo. Now next is complete the following. Did we do? No. Hypertonic solution is one. Karo. One by one. Keep telling me. वहाँ से करो. Hypertonic solution is one. If the solution kept outside the cell has
Less concentration. Lower.
less solute concentration. Less solute concentration than inside the cell. Next.
Next is energy.
ATP. Active transport is one of the is one in which the ions outside the roots move by utilizing
ATP.
Energy.
in the form of
ATP.
ATP. उसको आंसर करने दो.
ATP would be the entire
Utilizing ATP. Utilizing because energy can be in other forms also. NADP also. ATP लिखना है.
Ma'am, पूरा statement. We can write
Ma'am,
energy in the
xylem
form of
provides
ATP.
पूरा
water.
statement नहीं लिखना है. Try answering only in one,
Just ATP.
2 words. ATP लिखना है. For this answer, ATP. The bending movements of certain class towards the sun is Turger movements. Is an example of Turger movement. So, how many examples of Turger movements in the previous class we had studied? Breaking through the soil, germination of seed, breaking through the wall. We had talked about the opening closing of the stomata, the mimosa. All these are examples, and even the bending movement of the sunflower, Turger.
And
Bending movement of various different type of flowers, that is phototropism, and along with phototropism, Turger also. So when we are talking about the Turger, now look into tick that statement. This particular statement you should always take a note. The bending movement of certain flowers towards the sun. These are all Turger movements. Number 4. Fill in the blanks. When placed in a more concentrated solution, the cell contains will shrink. Number B.
Water.
Number C.
opposite.
Number 5. Complete karo. Match the columns.
Ma'am, the
Upward flow of water.
Differentiate. I think we had already done last class. Match the column. Complete karo. All true false complete karo.
root pressure.
Match the column में xylem will go for upward flow and then phloem for downward flow. Cell membrane this one.
Ma'am, cell membrane permeable, cell wall
Root pressure gradation. Root pressure gradation. Cell wall permeable.
Cell wall semi-permeable.
नहीं वहाँ पे खाली permeable mention है ना.
Cell membrane permeable.
हाँ cell wall permeable. It's really mentioned नहीं है. But you can go with that option permeable. True false try करो.
root pressure हो गया था
False.
Root pressure gradation.
हाँ, plasma.
Root pressure gradation.
okay got it
Ma'am, deep plasmolized बोल क्या?
Deplasmolized is a cell is undergoing a cell in a hyperchronic medium. हाँ, एक cell hyperchronic medium में है. This cell is going for exosmosis now. जैसे ही exosmosis हो रहा है, the condition of the cell is placidity. The cell is going through placidity. उसको hypertonic solution में you keep even for another 2 days. What will happen? The cytoplasm will shrink. The cell wall and the cell membrane will evaporate. The cell is now plasmolized. But the cell is not fully dead. Put it back into water. The cytoplasm and
Deep plasmolized.
the volume of the cell will again increase. That is deplasmolysis.
Natural process that takes place in the root process.
Fill in the blanks, no talking. All of you will try solving the set of questions. Anybody has a doubt, clarify. True, false, correct the false statements.
Now will you start the next chapter in the next class?
Now, we are done with this. Transpiration.
Yeah.
हम genuinely
Ma'am, मैं
exam में आ रहा है इसलिए
कभी है? So, absorption and transpiration you should always study together. इसके जो concepts है almost the same in transpiration. In your school also, why they keep on jumping these chapters? Transpiration, absorption,
first 3 है
these 3 chapters always should be taught together, so you understand things better. अब इसके बाद जो ट्रांसपिरेशन पढ़ोगे ना in 2 lectures hardly next वाला lecture में तो चैप्टर मिल जाता है. क्यों? Because same concepts है. I take transpiration 1 month के बाद again I'll have to give you the revision of all these words. Good job. Actually, I want to let's see now. Because absorption, transpiration, photosynthesis all should be done together. When you understand things very clearly.
Then it falls.
What is your course? No, maybe.
Reasons are better.
मैंने क्या सुना?
Vacation.
This
मैम बोले ना इवनिंग में 5 बजे से बोलते हैं पेरेंट्स से बोले कि
Anu go on.
I did not even see.
ma'am vacation can happen in midday.
Reason.
But midday, if it is monsoon time, yes.
Exactly.
But it's not mentioned.
But if it is midday, normally now, no, vacation will, because rate of transpiration is very high
My
midday.
mention is not mentioned here.
Which question?
Okay.
Which question?
Lower leave.
Vacation is another name, no, not that, no.
Now question number 3rd D.
Acha, vacation in plants occurs maximum at midday. False.
Early morning.
Vacation does not occur midday. If we normally midday में monsoon time भी हो सकता है, but not now. Normally no, because normally rate of transpiration is high, so there is no chance for vacation. Vacation कब होगा? When the transpiration rate is less. अच्छा, fill in the blanks. Number 2 all done.
Where is filling the blanks?
अरे
True and false.
number C, sub number 2. I'm sorry. True false. All done.
Yes.
Doubt है?
No, doubt is not.
Number 3, true false. Give explanation in support. Now that we will discuss. Number 2, if all are done.
Number 2 done.
All done.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 3, we go to this.
Done.
Guttation is another name for bleeding in plants.
False.
False. What is the question there? Mention whether the statements are true, false, and give explanation. Okay. Guttation is another name for bleeding. Guttation is another name for bleeding in plants. You are saying?
There are 4 to 5 reasons.
You go one by one. Give me the explanation. Number 1. This statement is true or false?
False.
Reason. एक के बाद. Reason.
Ma'am, bleeding can occur in any plant.
Guttation is another name for bleeding. Reason is it is false. Reason.
One reason can be because bleeding can occur in any plant which is injured. Guttation occurs only in specific plants such as banana.
Guttation is a natural process.
Process which occurs in only specific plants such as banana.
Banana, no, any type of a plant like banana. Of course, in banana, but apart from banana, also you can give examples like the
Money plant.
grasses,
Other example.
the money plant, grasses, any type of climbers, any type of shrubs, you can give examples. So now that we are talking about reason, what reason we will write? You can just write down some couple of words there. Guttation, no, that statement is false because bleeding is not the definition. You just have to write one line explanation there because guttation
Is a natural process.
natural process. It's a natural process. Bleeding always in injured plant parts. Number 2, soaked seeds burst their seed coats. Soaked seeds burst their seed coats. False? Yeah, true. True. I'm asking you. True. Explanation? Turgor pressure. Soaked seeds will burst their seed coats. Explanation क्या है? What is the explanation? Why the seed coats are bursted out? Because maximum or tremendous turgor pressure. Tremendous turgor pressure responsible for bursting out the seed coats. If the phloem of a twig is removed, keeping the xylem intact, the leaves wilt.
False.
Second step. Phloem, sit down. Sit and answer. Phloem is removed. The phloem is removed.
Yeah.
Okay. Xylem is intact. Okay. Do you remember that setup we had discussed? The leaves
Then
wilt.
this is false because
Xylem is intact. Leaves are wilting.
no, then this is false.
The statement itself is false.
False, yeah.
Reason? What is the explanation? Why are you saying statement is false? Because
Because the xylem is intact, but only the phloem is damaged, and the xylem is because of the xylem it remains.
if the xylem is intact, the leaves will not wilt soon. The leaves will not wilt soon if the xylem is intact because if the leaves are If the xylem is intact, the leaves are getting adequate supply of water. They remain turgid for a long time. They will not.
The reason only xylem is the water conducting tissue of the plant.
Exactly. Xylem is the vascular tissue conducting the water. So the statement in short, you can always write explanation is xylem conducts water. Leaves will not. The leaves will remain turgid. Xylem conducts water. Leaves will remain turgid. Guttation in plants occur maximum at midday. I gave you the explanation. This side.
False, it happens early.
It happens early morning, midday. Why not? Because
Rate of
midday
transpiration is high.
rate of transpiration is high. Explanation is midday transpiration rate is high, so guttation rate will be lower or almost negligible. The last one is very easy. Raisins, when submerged in water, swell due to endoosmosis. Explanation. What is the explanation? Statement is true. Explanation is
Because
why are the raisins showing endoosmosis?
because they are placed in a hydroponic.
It is already mentioned they are in water. Water is a hypotonic medium. But why endoosmosis?
Because the solute inside the raisin is.
Because the water content inside. कौन सा music चल रहा है? Because the water content inside the raisin is much lesser than the outside of the raisin. So that's why endoosmosis. Now, D sub number 1 you should be able to write. That's very easy. D sub number 1 complete with number 7. The
Number 7 of
E. I think almost all we are done. The application questions 1 we are done, right? 1 we are done. 2 we are done. 3 we are done. 4, I think 4 not. 4 are we done? Only 4 and 7 left. Please finish it up fast. 4 and 7 is left. Rest 1 or 2 left. You can try it on your own later. The last set of questions, give reason, I will ask you.
Higher percentage of super solution would mean it is higher concentration.
Hypertonic.
Higher concentration.
Concentrated hello. Osmosis. Karo, number 4 left and number 7 left.
Mama, the textbook.
In the textbook itself. 4 and 7.
I have a doubt. 4th A, there is no specific name of the process. It is just
Name the process being
roots
studied
absorbing
in
water. That's
roots
it.
absorb water.
Absorption is there.
How do you absorption?
Osmosis.
Explain the process.
Then
Osmosis
explain.
बोर्ड को अरे यार नहीं बोल सकते लिखना है
हो गया
The movement of molecules.
Transpiration
Water
molecule.
molecules.
Bharat, come here.
Ma'am, next one concern.
Transpiration chapter पढ़ो.
4th number.
4 and 7.
4 and 7.
Higher concentration to a region of lower.
You are aware about your school results?
Yes.
9 standard.
10th.
9th standard का result कौन पूछता है?
नहीं मतलब our school result.
होता
Our
ना?
मेरा.
होता ना? हाँ.
मेरा 9th था.
अरे अपने अपने स्कूल के रिजल्ट 10th के क्या है?
Board results. Are you aware? Are you aware?
Yes.
Through semi-permeable.
No, you are not aware about your school results. Colcrest, you are aware about your school 10th board results. How is it?
6 toppers are there. मतलब 96 के ऊपर there.
Highest percentage क्या आया?
99.2.
99.8.
ए कुछ भी
कुछ भी तुम लोग के स्कूल में नहीं है 99.8.
अरे महेश
भाई हमारे स्कूल की बात कर रहे हैं हम.
हमारे स्कूल में मनीष है.
अरे वही शुरू से इतना ज्यादा नहीं हुआ है.
अबे 99.8 से देखो ना वो सेम
Semi-permeable
वो 100%
membrane to
YouTubers.
हां बट वो 100% 99.8
Be
है.
selective. Are you motivated?
Yes.
Hopefully तो मुझे बोलना चाहिए. हाँ, hopefully.
हमें कंप्लीट सेंटेंस है.
बट मुझे मोटिवेशन बहुत कम ही दिख रहा है क्लास में. Set a target right from the first exam. नहीं तो नहीं होगा. You wake up from your slumber in the month of September, कुछ नहीं होएगा. You have to wake up and stand right from now. अगर 95 आप कुछ चाहिए, if you want your results to be worth the time and the money here you spend, if you want a big smile on your parents' face after the results, work from now. आया बात समझ में?
कुक करेंगे.
आया बात समझ में?
What is this thing called?
What is this thing called?
The fourth diagram. What is
Then class tube.
Ma'am, in the fourth B, may express the process mentioned in A. It is A with the absorption of fruit cells process.
Explain the process. Explain the process mentioned in A above. Explain what will you
The
explain?
silent tissue absorb water.
Absorption of water by osmosis. Movement of the water from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. ये लिखोगे. Number C. Number B. Name the process. Process is absorption of water by osmosis. And explain osmosis. सोचो मत करो. That's why I'm asking you. Doubt है पूछो. If you don't ask me, I understand that सब clear है.
Question number 7D.
7D. What will you observe in the setup after half an hour?
Slight increase in the water level of A.
Slight increase in the level of solution in arm A of the tube.
Ma'am, that is written, but find out that is like we were.
Fourth के बाद 7 करो. All done.
While we
So
were
ये last के give reason questions go through करो. We will just discuss. Last number 3 give reasons. Just go through करो. Give reason के last Did you understand what I told you?
Ma'am, just one question. In the experimental setup that we were studying, we were saying 6 to 8 hours, and then we were saying the minimal difference. So half an hour actually that will change.
Half an hour में there will be a slight increase
In the water level.
in the water level in arm A of the glass tube. Arm A of the glass tube. अच्छा, what is the observation number 7 में? What is the observation? Advait, बोलो. Number 7, what is the observation? Number 7, what is the observation?
There will be a slight decrease in water level.
Number 7 में, अच्छा, what phenomena are you studying there?
We are studying osmosis.
Okay. Phenomena, explain the phenomena you can write. What is meant by semi-permeable you can write. Number D का आंसर क्या होगा?
Number D. The water molecules will.
नहीं, molecule नहीं लिखना है. The water level.
Yes, the
Or the level of the solution. ये
the water
solution
level
है.
of the
नहीं,
solution.
ये solution. Water का तो कोई reference है ही नहीं. They both are solutions. Now you tell me the answer. What will you observe after half an hour?
So
Now the
water,
water,
the tube with
The level of
the
the
level of
solution.
solution A rises.
The level of the solution in arm A rises. Reason?
Due to osmosis and water traveling from solution B to solution
Region
A.
of the water.
Clear है? All done? Now चलो. Last give reason करेंगे and we are done with this chapter. Give reason. I start with this one. Cold Chris. What's his name? क्या नाम है? Ansh. बोलो Ansh. Number 1. Give reason. All of you are done with the rest of the questions. Number 7 done. कौन सा पेज है?
50.
नहीं 53 नहीं
53 नहीं है।
थर्ड पॉइंट सेमी परमेबल मेम्ब्रेन
भाई पास कौन मारा यार?
Someone farted.
behave
देख कितना अच्छे से D3
चलो विल गो विद फिर मैं ना AC ना 18 में चला के रखूंगी पता है नेवर माइंड यू गेट फ्रोजन
और फैन भी मैम
एकदम फुल स्टीम में
मैं बोलूं
चलो
वाला
वन बाय वन हम
नहीं
लोग
मैं
आस्क यू
फैन ऑफ
ए चालू रख चालू रख बहुत
Yes,
ज्यादा
मैं
ओके चलो नाउ नंबर
आगे
all of you got those set of questions देखा number 3 sub number 8 if you sprinkle some हाँ पढ़ो
If you sprinkle some common sort of glass going on a lawn, it is still at the spot. Just because when you sprinkle some salt on the lawn, it increases the concentration of the water in the soil, which makes it
key terms सारे key terms answer कर लिखना है
yes, sir, which makes it higher in solute and
नहीं नहीं
Plasmolysis.
one by one higher in solute तो कोई term नहीं use करोगे
it is higher
When I am
high concentration
making the soil water
high concentration of water
making the soil water hypertonic
making the soil water hypertonic, and this hypertonic will get penetrated into the cell wall, into the cell membrane, and inside the cell, and it will cause plasmolysis.
He's bleeding.
what happened जा washroom जा vomit please
जा रे यार बोल
drink enough water in this heat
ओ भाई
जा 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 कोई बात
आ
नहीं
क्या हुआ मारो चिल
Blood
Okay.
phenomenon.
just put your face
ओ
little
भाई
bit one of you go with it
मैं मार दो
इतने सारे लोग
यहाँ पर उसको
I'm good.
नहीं
Let's go, ma'am. Let's see to him.
वो मैनेज करेगा आई हैव सेंस
Ma'am,
ठीक है भाई इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात
वाइप करो
बोला क्या?
वाइप करो एंड देन से चलो सेटल डाउन
आपको काटे क्या तुझे? Blood गिरा करके मुंह पे.
भाई तू चेन मार
वाइप करो उसको
सब बोला.
यू कैन गेट वन पेपर चाहिए तो ऑफिस से लेके आ जाओ किसका है बड़ा बुक क्लीन करने के लिए वापस में चले जाओ लेकर हासिल
थैंक यू
थैंक यू किसको देख के थैंक यू बोल रहे हैं
मेरे को दिख
डेस्क की तरफ देख के थैंक यू बोल रहे हैं
अबे तू कैसे करेगा
अच्छा चलो डोंट बिहेव लाइक दैट इट टेक्स 2 minutes to solve that problem just look at it
भाई कितनी जाएगा
चलो
यार नहीं
now okay now Ansh if you sprinkle some common salt all of you are looking at that question
plasmolysis and it will turn solution into hypertonic and the cell will get shrinked.
if you sprinkle now I want all of you to write down you don't have to write all sentences just key terms लिख के रखो and later you can frame your answer now see the first one sprinkle some common salt on grass growing on a lawn it gets killed lawn mein if you just take a handful of salt and sprinkle next morning you will get to see that all of them are dried out and dead why because whenever you have sprayed or sprinkled that salt the soil water became hypertonic the cell is supposed to be hypertonic now the soil water is hypertonic so root cells are losing water by exosmosis followed by plasmolysis so the root cells are dying out of plasmolysis so which are the terms that should be there in your answer hypertonic the soil is hypertonic ye mention karna hi hai the cells root cells are showing exosmosis followed by plasmolysis and that's how the cells are dying out come to the next one Ria if you uproot a plant from the soil leaves will green see that you understand
because as that you put a plant, the process of absorbing water stops,
Stops.
and whatever water is left is used up by the plant, and then it is lost in the environment by the process of transpiration, and soon the plant does not have any water left.
हाँ, so don't make your answers. It is not history, ये biology है. 3 line में answer लिखना है. So now, when we are talking, if you uproot a plant from the soil, leaves are wilting. Why are the leaves wilting? Because the
Connection to the
leaves
xylem is
are
broken.
connection. The absorption of the water by the xylem is stopped, and the leaves do not get continuous supply of water. Leaves do not get continuous supply of water. So how can they remain turgid? They are not getting continuous supply. So leaves do not get continuous supply of water since the xylem cannot absorb water from the soil. Next, number C.
I don't know this one. I can do the next one or the one
Acha.
after that also.
कौन बोलेगा? Can you? Better to transplant seedling. Whenever we put up new plant, कोई plantlet हमें लगाना है. So what is the ideal time? Either morning or evening. Afternoon time is actually not the right time to plant a new sapling. Why?
Because the transpiration rate is higher.
Higher. Next.
Lower is
Higher.
Lower is evening, highest
Transpiration rate is higher during the daytime. So उससे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है?
So the plant will lose its
Water faster. So
So
और
it
क्या
is
लिखना है?
better, it is better to plant it during the evening because the plant retains its water.
Water and gets more time to establish in the soil, develop roots. Okay. So what are you writing here?
In the question they are given seedlings.
Seedlings.
So where are
Plant.
the leaves for transpiration?
So seed has to germinate.
So we can
So-
say turbo pressure, right?
Next, seedling also means. See here, the entire set of question is based on all these concepts. So seedling meaning the seed. When I say seed and seedling, what is the difference? The seed has already given rise to the radicle and the plumule. So this seedling you are placing it in the soil. But what time should you do it? Morning, evening, or midday? Midday I will not do it. Midday, why not? Because the seeds will start losing so much of water. The seeds will become dried up fast. Evaporation will be much higher. Morning and evening, why ideal? They will be able to conserve water. Evaporation will be less. So the radicle can establish root hairs much faster. Radicle can, remember, write down few terms there. Seed restores water. Establish root hairs faster. Daytime, before they establish root hairs, the entire seed will become dried out. The seed should retain water. If it is a plantlet, transpiration should be low. Okay. Number D. This side. Okay, tell me. Number D.
So
Kept in hypertonic salt solution becomes plasmolized.
So the plant cell has a more solvent concentration as compared to the hypertonic solution. So the
Plant cell
has more solvent
हाँ,
as compared to the
हाँ, तो
hypertonic
ऐसे ऐसे
solution.
घुमा के आंसर नहीं लिखो. The plant cell is hypotonic as compared to the solution. हमेशा use the key terms. Plant cell is more hypotonic as compared to the solution. So अब क्या होगा?
So then water will go from the plant cell to the hypertonic
नहीं तो ऐसे फिर से तुम कर रहे हो.
Exosmosis.
So the plant cell will show exosmosis,
Lose water.
and
plasmid होगा, and followed by plasmolysis. The plant cell will become plasmolized. Number E.
The potato cubes that are placed in water are having a higher concentration. Hence, they absorb water and become turgid. This absorption of water helps them increase in size and become firm.
So we can also get to see that we had done one question there where the amount of the water inside the potato cube also rises up.
Keyword is
The potato cube, one question we had done, no?
no,
So-
keyword.
Keywords are endosmosis, hypotonic solution outside, and that's the reason the cells of the potato cube becoming turgid, and that's the reason they are intact, crisp. No? They are crisp and firm. See the words firm and increase in size mentioned. We move on to the next chapter, that is transpiration. और है? अच्छा, इसमें और दो है question. Two more questions, that is. Is that a question for you? Here. What are the four main factors? That one?
Forces.
What are the four main forces which contribute to ascent of sap? Which are the four main forces?
Root pressure, transpirational pull, capillarity,
and osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. लिख के रखो. Four main forces: transpirational pull, root pressure, hydrostatic pressure. Also you can write osmotic pressure, capillarity. All these.
transpirational pressure, root pressure, capillarity, and
What is transpirational pull? How is it caused? Will you be able to write this answer?
and
What is transpirational pull? How is it caused?
This definition is not given.
What is transpirational pull? How is it caused? Write down this answer. We wind up with this question.
Definition not given.
Transpirational pull का book में नहीं है as such definition.
but in the explanation part it was given.
In general it is given, but typical definition not given. You can write down and we wind up with this question there. What is transpirational pull? How is it caused? Are you okay? Huh?
Yes. मैम पूरा खून निकल
No pain, but ठीक है.
मैम मैं खुद देख के डर गया.
You often suffer from this?
No, not often, but कभी-कभी. मतलब
So drink water. Your body is dried out.
Placid.
Acid हो गया. You don't have water? देख.
I forgot my bottle.
Bottle है. जब bottle भर के लेके आ जा.
मुझे तो बहुत सच में देख लो.
तो उसका bottle लेके जा.
तो अभी पानी
ठीक है, लेकिन
मैं खुद देख के डर गया कितना खून निकल रहा था.
ओके भाई.
कितना निकला भाई?
Do you take any medicine for that? Tell your mother.
नाम मतलब 8-9 महीने पहले एक बार हो सकता है ऐसा.
हाँ?
In 8 to 9 months ऐसा एक बार हो सकता है.
हो सकता है.
नहीं कभी नहीं होता. मतलब जितना मेरे
पानी
पास
भरते ही
3-4 बार होगा.
पानी भरते ही कैसे?
कैसे?
वो तो
कैसे भरते कि किधर से भरते? Okay, चलो. What is the last? So that is done. So I'll give you the last question there. लिखो. What is transpirational pull? How is it caused? And we wind up with the chapter. लिखो question fast. Take out your book, notebook. What is transpirational pull? Write down. नहीं लिखना है. You are so lazy in writing. That's why you miss out on words when you write down the answers. Transpirational pull, write down the suction force or the pulling force. Either of the words you can write. The suction force or भरत ऐसा क्यों रखना है notebook? देख उसको कैसे लिख रहा है. The suction force or the pulling force developed in the xylem tubes. Developed in the xylem tubes due to continuous transpiration, which regulates the absorption of water by root cells. Which regulates
Regulates the concentration of the solution.
regulates the if you have to write that, then you have to write regulates the concentration of cell sap in the root cells. Regulates the absorption of water by the root cells and its upward movement. Absorption of water by the root cells and its upward movement. Full stop. Next paragraph. How is it caused? Little bit, 2 lines on that. How is it caused? During the day, the rate of transpiration is high. During the day, the rate of transpiration is high, comma, which creates vacuum in the xylem tubes, which creates vacuum in the xylem tubes.
Transpiration is high.
During the day, which creates vacuum in the xylem tubes, full stop. These empty spaces generates a suction force for the upward movement of the water column, which in turn regulates continuous intake of water by the root cells due to endoosmosis. Continuous intake of water by the root cells due to endoosmosis. Okay? So, go through the chapter. As and when we proceed with the next chapters, sometimes I will give you some questions. So you should be a little bit prepared. Keep reading. Don't wait for the transpiration. Transpiration अभी start करना है कि previous chapter revision करना है?
Previous chapter.
Previous
Cram all into 15 minutes. अगर कंटिन्यूस तो
15 minutes में 2 टॉपिक आराम से 4 एक्सपेरिमेंट खत्म हो
अब लेकिन अगर हम लोग कंटिन्यूस चाहते तो फ्लो बहुत होता है ना, फ्लो का डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है.
Exactly, ma'am. That's why we need to revise previous chapter.
Transpiration. Flow का डिस्टर्ब होता है.
Transpiration.
Majority transpiration बोल रहे हैं.
क्योंकि तुमने पढ़ाई नहीं किया पिछला चैप्टर, that's why. Did you go through? Yes. Structure of chromosomes, cell division. Did you go through?
Yes.
Ma'am, we went through on
10 question पूछूं, will you be able to answer?
Yes.
अभी
Yes, ma'am.
preparation should be on and on. Exam bells ring होगा तभी books निकलेगा कबर्ड से, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. चलो. Should we revise a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
Transpiration tomorrow fresh setup से start करेंगे. Fresh mind, fresh setup से we'll start. Transpiration कल की कल I think we can finish. It's a very simple chapter. इस chapter के साथ continuity करेंगे तो it will go very fast. Absorb same ही concepts है सारे. क्या हो रही है? Why so tense है? Transpiration is the easiest chapter in the syllabus. But इसमें से 5 to 8 mark के circulatory system बहुत कुछ है, nervous system, sense organs में बहुत कुछ है, that will have to study. बहुत concepts है उसमें to remember. Okay?
Many names also have to remember.
क्यों? अरे क्यों?
Ma'am, bio easy word.
Easy है. It is interesting as compared to your 9th standard syllabus. 9th standard syllabus was not. हाँ, काफी सारे chapters were nothing. No
chapters.
आपने बोल ना 9th standard students को
क्या?
कि बोलेंगे करके.
हाँ? वो तो 10th में हम बोलते हैं, 9th में नहीं बोलते.
9th बोलेंगे demotivate हो जाएगा.
So, but 10th के chapters easy है. I mean, comparatively they are interesting except for evolution and all chemical coordination. वो तो रट्टा मारना ही है.
पक्का ना फिर बोलेंगे 11th में आके बोलेंगे 10th के चैप्टर्स बोलेंगे 11th के अच्छे करके.
नहीं, 10th syllabus is very interesting. And ये जो 10th के syllabus more or less the same thing you are going to study in the 12th also. That's and then that there's always a continuity that is. So 8th almost 10th में जो पढ़ने वाले हो, you have already studied 50% of it in the 8th standard. Already you all have done. Nervous system, reproductive system, and all these things you have done already in the 8th. Plant reproduction and everything you have done. So थोड़ा सा 9th में है, थोड़ा सा 10th में है. वो
9th.
क्या 9th? अच्छा चलो, we'll just discuss little bit of the previous chapter.
Sure.
What are nucleotides? कहाँ से शुरू करूं? What are nucleotides? नहीं, चुप. जब तेरा turn आएगा तब बोलना. What are nucleotides? All of you think for the answer. But जब मैं पूछूंगी तभी आंसर करना है. Books close. Book close करो. Book close करो. 10th standard में concept याद रखने की कोशिश करो. So it will be easy, very easy. October तक all of you should be more or less comfortable with your syllabus. October तक if you are not comfortable then you'll have to really work very hard. बोलो. What are nucleotides?
I mean, those strands of DNA is going to
Nucleotide what?
Ma'am, each strand of DNA is composed of repeating nucleotides which contain three components: the nitrogenous bases, which are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. And
तो nucleotides
and phosphate.
तो अभी nucleotides है क्या?
Repeating component.
Repeating components that are composed in the single DNA strand.
Repeating
Of a single DNA strand.
units of the DNA molecule, the DNA strand, that is nucleotide. One major difference for structural difference for chromatin and chromosome, what will you write?
Chromatin.
Group. सबको आंसर, सबको सोचने दो. Individually I will ask, that's much better. Chromatin and chromosome एक cycle में जाने दो. Chromatin and chromosome structural difference. Chromatin and chromosome you will get questions that way. Structural difference. क्या लिखना है? Chromatin and chromosome. नहीं. Chromatin and chromosome का structural difference क्या है?
Chromosomes are highly divided and
Chromatin is extensively long, thin, uncoiled. Chromosomes are extensively coiled and they appear shorter, broader.
Chromosomes are highly coiled and chromatin are.
Scientist, famous biologist, scientist.
Walter Fleming, Watson and Crick, Rosalind Franklin.
Walter Fleming, what did he do? Fleming, what did he do?
He discovered DNA.
Where?
In the cells of an amphibian organism.
Salamander, amphibian. Whose sites actually ovarian cells, amphibian cells. Okay. Then what was Watson and Crick's contribution?
No, I think what's
Explain the structure of
Complete structure of the
DNA.
Helical.
the ladder like rungs of ladder. Yes.
Nice.
हाँ
Explain the entire structure of the DNA molecule.
So helical
Rungs
model
उसमें Watson and Crick उसमें rungs ऐसे नहीं लिखना है. Explain the entire detailed
What did
structure.
Rosalind Franklin?
she provided the image, no?
She है, वो तो she है.
Rosalind Franklin. The Rosalind Franklin, famous biologist, explain the structure of the DNA, the existence of the DNA in the chromosome.
Not helical structure.
No, but then the detailed, इसको crystallographic structure बोला जाता है. The detailed unit-wise structure that was made by Watson Crick. What is हाँ बोलो. Yes बोलो. Difference between chromatid and centromere. What is it?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
centromere is the point of attachment of two sister chromatids, and a chromatid is the I forgot.
one vertical half of
One vertical
chromosome
half.
is known as the chromosome.
Yes, ma'am.
One vertical half या तो arms of the chromosome known as chromatids. Okay. What is the job of centrosome? Function of centrosome?
To divide the two, divide the chromatids.
नहीं. Function of centrosome. Write down the function. Centrosome. क्या लिखोगे? What is centrosome? Centrosome is what? Bharat, what is centrosome? याद है? I'll take that side.
बुक में देखा.
बुक में
मैम बुक
नहीं,
में
बुक में.
भाई
Centrosome. ऐसा आर्ग्यूमेंट मुझे नहीं चाहिए. I am asking questions to each one of you. Some of you had studied, वो मुझे अच्छी तरह से समझ में आ रहा है. Some of you had not started, but please start. And इस तरह का revision every chapter में खत्म करूँगी. Previous chapters, पीछे वाले chapters, I will keep on revising. I will give you written work also. क्यों?
मतलब yeah, revision is important.
हाँ. पढ़ते रहना है. You proceed and all chapter finish, and by chance I ask you some 10 questions, you are blank staring at me. I'll give you a big blow on your face.
Centrosome is only the
What is
animals-
centrosome?
Only animals and not the plants.
What is centrosome?
Centrosome along with aster or
What is centrosome? It is a cell
Cell
organ
organ.
present where?
animals.
Acha.
Near the
Location.
nucleus.
You get one type of
Near the
question in
nucleus.
your exam paper.
In the center.
Location and function. State the location and function of centrosome.
In the
Location.
center of the cell.
Nahin.
Near the
Near
nucleus.
the
Near
nucleus.
the nucleus.
Formation of
Function.
Formation of
Spindle fibers
along
and
with
help in the
astrocytes.
process of
Cell division.
and help in the process of cell division. What is histone octamer? The complex of one person only at a time. Chalo.
8 core of protein. नहीं.
8
Histones are protein molecules which form an 8 core of proteins
8
molecules
cores
around which 8 they are in number.
हाँ.
The core of protein around which the DNA strand is
हाँ.
circled. Coiled around.
So histone core meaning 8 subunits
Proteins.
of proteins
Are present.
forming a molecule.
Molecules around which DNA strand is
Keep
encircled.
on spiraling. Okay. So histone octamer, that is called histone octamer. What are the 4 types of nitrogenous bases? Here. 4 types of nitrogenous bases. बैठो, answer तो करें. What are the 4 types of nitrogenous bases? याद करो, you have to start. Read so much to remember.
Thymine, and cytosine.
Adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. What are base pairing? What are the base pair rules?
Thymine and cytosine.
नहीं.
Adenine and
Adenine, thymine, double
Cytosine and
adenine.
guanine.
Adenine with thymine
Double
always.
double
Cytosine with
Cytosine is one and triple spot.
And guanine.
guanine is always with cytosine. That is the correct base pairing.
Uracil.
Uracil you don't have to study.
Ma'am, it is given in our-
Where?
In RNA.
Yes, now it is given RNA.
Inside the box.
Inside
Inside of the box of uracil.
Uracil you are generally not asked, but uracil is a
It's the thymine is
it is a pyrimidine of RNA only. It is a pyrimidine. But the basic 4 nitrogenous bases of the purines and pyrimidines I explained you.
Yeah. What were the 2 purines?
Adenine and guanine.
Guanine.
Purines are only one hexagonal carbon hydrogen bond structure. Pyrimidines are 2 ring structure. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they are two-ring structure. If it is a two-ring structure, we call it as pyridine. If it is a one-ring structure, we call it as purine. Okay. Tell me one or two prominent events of prophase stage. Two prominent events.
Cell wall disappears. Duplication.
Cell wall. Focus on one. Okay. Cell membrane disappears and disintegrates and
Which process? Prophase.
duplication of
Nucleolus and nuclear membrane disappear.
बोल दिया भाई
बोलिए ना.
okay nuclear membrane nucleolus disappears and duplication of chromosome. Tell me one prominent event of metaphase. Varar, one prominent event of the metaphase stage. बेसिक है, एकदम ही बेसिक है. One metaphase stage, major event. No. Metaphase में, how will you identify that the cell is in metaphase?
That bulging.
Bulging तो हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है.
Formation of spindle.
Formation of spindle fiber prophase में होता है. Metaphase
Aligning of the chromosomes to the
I'm going
spindle
towards
fiber.
poles.
alignment में was the
Going
poles.
towards
The chromatids align at the equator and the centromere attaches to the spindle fiber.
Moving towards the poles is anaphase. Moving towards the poles is not metaphase at all. Homologous chromosomes, what are they?
Ma'am, the chromosomes of two different gametes when fused together to form a single chromosome is known as a homologous pair.
To form a pair.
To form a pair of chromosome is known as the homologous pair.
Homologous pair. What is homologous pair? For
Guys,
guys, I explained you what is homologous pair. Chromosomes that we have in our cells is always pair. So this pair of chromosome, which consists of a maternal and a paternal homolog, इसको बोलेंगे homologous pair of chromosomes. How are these homologous pair
Crossing
formed?
over.
By fertilization. Homologous pair form कैसे होता है? That is by fertilization. And by crossing over क्या होता है? What do we
Exchange of the DNA.
What is the significance of crossing over?
The exchange of the nucleotides.
Exchange of chromosome segments.
Chiasma.
Crossing over leads to exchange of chromosome segments, and these leads to one word you are supposed to remember. Chiasma. This does not lead to chiasma. Listen to my question. I said crossing over leads to exchange of chromosomal segments, and these leads to dash in offsprings. What is that dash? Variations. Diversity नहीं लिखना. This leads to variations in offsprings. Whenever you read a chapter, words, specific definition, relation, all these things you have to remember. Okay, don't just remember the 10th standard concept. बहुत important है. You should go through. You should have some questions once you are reading. तभी जाके you will have questions. So next class I will start with, that is tomorrow. I'll start with transpiration. See that all of you get your notebooks also. Or if not, I'll ask you certain questions to write.
Mami left us 2 minutes early. Mami left us 2 minutes early, but okay.
बस वही आ जाता है नॉन चीज.
चलिए लेडीज फर्स्ट.
भाई तुझे खून नहीं
नहीं रहने दे.
निकला भी जरा.
वॉशरूम पर
तो अपना नोट्स पिक करता है तो खून निकलता है तो
अरे कुछ तो छिलका नहीं रखा
पक्का से मैंने मैंगो खाया था बहुत सारा.
तो कच्चा ना लो.
अच्छा मैंगो क्यों खाऊंगा?
कच्चा मैंगो से इम्यूनिटी होता है.
हाँ एक्चुअली होती है.
या खून निकल जाएगा चाहे
खाया तो बोल दे भाई टेक दिस.
कच्चा मैंगो
सुन
प्रॉपर से.
घर पे जा कूल डाउन कर. सुन ज्यादा हॉट स्टफ मत खा.
डॉक्टर रीड लिखना है इसको
आदित्य बोला है
एंडबिलिटी
ये वाला आदित्य को नहीं हुआ है
अरे नहीं देख सुन, ऐसी चीजें मत कर जो जिनमें ज्यादा गर्मी होती है। आई डोंट नो कैसे एक्सप्लेन करूं, पर पापा ने बताया था एक बार कि कुछ
तू
चीजें
जैसे
ऐसी
बहुत
होती हैं।
सुनने लगा पापा।
सुनता है भाई, सुनता है बहुत सुनता है। सुनता है तेरा पापा सुनता है। देखता है। हाँ।